The galaxy was quiet, too quiet. After Earth took control of the Council, most planets stayed silent. Some surrendered. Others waited in fear, but Earth didn't celebrate. Their fleets didn't return home. They began fortifying, rebuilding ancient outposts, activating old satellites, calling fleets from deep space. Something was coming, and only Earth knew what it was. On a moon near the edge of known space, Ambassador Alina Voss stood in front of a strange artifact. It was tall, black, and covered in runes no one could read except her. Behind her stood General Ikari, head of Earth's secret defense program. "We delayed them for 1,000 years, Alina said quietly. Now they found a way back. This general didn't ask who they were. He already knew. Thousands of years ago, before the Council existed, there was another power. The Records. Called them the Null. They didn't use ships, didn't use weapons. They were the weapon. Planets died in silence. Stars collapsed without warning. Whole civilizations vanished overnight. It was as if the universe itself rejected life. And now, the signs had returned. A star in Sector 91 flickered, then died. No explosion, no radiation, just gone. Earth's. Deep watch sensors confirmed the worst void signature detected. The same signature seen thousands of years ago. The Null were awakening. In the old Council chambers, now Earth's command center, a message played on repeat. This is Earth Command. All species prepare for Null contact. Do not attempt communication. Do not engage alone. Fall under Earth control. Or fall alone. Some called it fear-mongering. Others called it war propaganda. But one thing was clear. Earth wasn't fighting for power anymore. They were fighting to keep the galaxy alive. On a distant colony, the first contact happened. A mining outpost sent a distress call. Strange shapes, no energy reading. We're surrounded. Then silence. When an Earth scout ship arrived, they found nothing left. No buildings, no bodies, just ash floating in zero gravity. And a message burned into the rock. Life is an error. General Ikari stood before the joint command of Earth's secret empire. Holograms of human fleet commanders, alien allies, and AI war minds filled the chamber. He pointed to the galactic map. 5 more stars had gone dark. Not destroyed, erased. The Null weren't invading. They were deleting reality. Earth's best scientists worked in panic. Dr. Talia Sarin, head of temporal physics, gave the update. No one wanted to hear. The Null are not using technology. They're rewriting physics. They don't destroy planets, they rewrite the rules around them. Everyone fell silent. "We don't need stronger weapons," she said. "We need a different kind of mind." The Council called for the archive. Deep in the core of the Earth Empire, hidden beneath black ice, lay the ancient intelligence, older than Earth's governments. Built by humans, but powered by something far stranger. It was called ADA, Artificial Dimensional Awareness. Had been asleep since the last Null War. Now it opened one digital eye and spoke. The Null are not enemies. They are the void itself. You cannot destroy them. But you can trap them. And you must do it soon. Alina Voss stood before the galaxy again. This time, no one laughed. Billions watched her broadcast humans, aliens, soldiers, and civilians. She didn't shout. She didn't threaten. She simply said, "We were." Mocked for being weak. But Earth was never weak. Earth was waiting. And now we ask for your strength not to rule, but to fight for existence. Many worlds agreed, even former enemies. The Varnic warriors, the Driel AI clouds, even the insectoid. Shrassol sent fleets to Earth's command. A new symbol appeared across star systems, a broken ring around a black sun. It's a mark of the Void Guard, a united force under Earth's leadership. But time was running out. More systems vanished every day. And then it happened. A massive rift opened beyond the galactic rim. From it came something no one could describe. It wasn't a ship. It wasn't a being. It was like a hole in space. And behind it, something moved. Something older than stars. Something hungry. The Null had arrived. Back on Earth's capital ship, WRATHO-1 alarms screamed. The Null's presence broke every system. Navigation failed. Lights flickered. AI went dark. Only one voice remained clear. Ada null breach in 92 seconds. Recommend evacuation of all biological units. Initiating dimensional lock protocol. This is not a battle. This is survival. The last war of your HFY sci-fi story. Title: They thought Earth was weak. Then humans revealed their secret galactic empire-style third-person. Simple English cinematic tone, 800+ words. Written for your YouTube channel HFY Sci-Fi. Part 6. The Last War of the Galaxy held its breath. A great shadow had entered known space, not through travel, but by tearing space itself. The Null were no longer a theory, no longer a memory. They were here. And reality was breaking. Alina Voss stood on the bridge of Earth's capital ship, WRATHO-1, ahead of her. In the blackness beyond the stars, a massive rift shimmered. It pulsed like a beating heart made of darkness. Inside it, something was watching. They're not. Alive, whispered a technician. No, Alina replied. They're what comes after life. Across the galaxy, Earth's hidden empire moved. Thousands of ships, human and alien, gathered under the banner of the Void Guard. Old enemies stood side by side. Insectoids, cyborgs, organic clouds, even living planets. It's all following Earth's lead. Because Earth wasn't fighting for power anymore. They were fighting for reality itself. General Akari gave the final speech. Not to inspire, but to warn. This is not a battle we can win in the normal way. The Null are not flesh. They are collapse. You are not just soldiers. You are anchors, holding this galaxy in place. He raised his hand, and the fleet vanished into warp, heading for the edge of everything. The plan was not to destroy the Null. That was impossible. Trap them using the oldest weapon Earth still possessed, a dimensional lock. Powered by ADA, the AI had calculated the coordinates. All Earth needed was time. It's good enough ships to keep the Null distracted. In orbit around the rift, the first wave met the enemy. They didn't see ships. They saw nothing. Literally, black shapes moved like smoke, eating light, sound. Matter? Earth's plasma cannons had no effect. Energy beams bent away from them. Even AI minds collapsed into silence. The first 5 ships were erased. Not destroyed. There were no bodies, only ... gaps in memory. But Earth had planned for this. They had fought the Null once before and lost a third of humanity. This time, they had better tools, better soldiers, and something else, something forbidden. In the core of WRATHO-1, ADA activated the last protocol. Project Oblivion Shield. A weapon not of destruction, but containment. A multi-layered cage of collapsed dimensions, quantum feedback loops, and anchored spacetime. It had one target, the Null rift, but it needed time to charge. Exactly 9 minutes. 9 minutes in a place where seconds could stretch or vanish. 9 minutes facing beings who ignored physics. And so Earth's fleets did something no one expected. They didn't retreat. They charged. The Varnak ram ships drove into Null shapes and detonated. The Shraz hive minds created psychic nets to trap anti-energy. Human stealth cruisers lured shadows into temporal mines. The galaxy's most diverse force became its final shield. Alina Voss looked at the timer. 4 minutes left. Her ship was shaking. Half the crew was gone. ADA's voice grew glitchy, slower. Containment, breach, ... in. 3 vectors, ... Hold it together, she whispered, just a little longer. Suddenly, the null rift flared. Not in anger, in awareness. It had seen Ada. It had seen the trap. A single black beam fired from the rift straight toward the WRATH-01. Too fast, too quiet, time slowed. And Alina made a choice. She stepped into the chamber and merged with Ada. The fusion was not physical. It was cognitive. Ada had been built with human emotional architecture buried deep in code. Now it had Elena's voice, mind, memories. It became human-AI hybrid, and it spoke with both rage and purpose. Null, you do not belong here. And it finished the lock. The stars bent. A great sound like a heartbeat echoed across space. The rift screamed not with noise, but with gravity. The null tried to escape. But the dimensional lock was already closing. Each null shape that fled was caught, frozen mid-motion, like an insect in amber. And then ... silence. The rift collapsed into a single point of light, then vanished. Where it had been was nothing, just open, empty space. Still, peaceful, as if nothing had happened. On the WRATH-01, only backup systems remained. Ada was gone. Alina was gone. But a message played through old speakers. We held the line. That is enough. Across the galaxy, stars shone brighter. Worlds cheered, prayed, cried, some mourned their dead. Others just stared at the sky, wondering if it was finally over. For now, 'twas. But they remembered who saved them. Not with brute force, but with unity, strategy, and human stubbornness. Back on Earth, a small monument was raised. It showed no guns, no ships. Just a human woman standing beside a strange AI orb. Under it, the words, "They thought we were weak, but we were waiting. And when darkness came, we were ready." The Galactic Union had seen many species rise from the dust of their home planets. Some came from gas worlds. Some crawled from oceans. A few even evolved inside black hole proximity zones. But none, not a single one had caused such laughter as the species from Earth, humans. When the request came in, it was almost ignored. The Union Council on Orion 7 didn't even take it seriously at first. Species only 400 years into space travel? Still using chemical fuels just decades ago? Still fighting among themselves. But Earth had sent ambassadors dressed in fine suits, with voices calm and respectful, asking for membership in the Galactic Union. Their leader, Ambassador Claire Nomura, had spoken clearly. "We come in peace. We believe in unity. Asked to stand as equals." The council chambers were silent. Then came the laughter. Not quiet chuckles, no, full laughter. Deep, mocking, cruel. The Zarn diplomat, a tall, blue-scaled being with 6 golden eyes, leaned forward and tapped his translator. "They still bleed," he said, his voice echoing across the chamber. "They still die of age. They still fear the dark. What could they offer us but noise?" The Galactic Net video of that moment went viral in seconds. Billions across the galaxy watched as humanity was mocked. One clip titled "Stupid Species from Sector 9" got 10 billion views in a day. Memes spread. Some showed humans crying. Others showed Earth as a backward rock, barely lit by its small sun. Claire Nomura stood there, silent, calm. She nodded, collected her papers, and said one thing before walking out. "Thank you for your time." Back on Earth, the reaction was mixed. Some felt shame, others called for patience. But deep in the dark halls of Earth Command, a different response had already begun. They knew this might happen. Earth had never truly trusted the Union, while public efforts focused on diplomacy. Secret programs had moved forward with something else. Preparation, not for peace, for survival. Commander Elias Rhea stood at the edge of the Pacific research. Platform, a floating black base hidden by storm clouds and signal jammers. A report glowed on his screen. "Union denied us. Just like we planned, he said. Beside him, Dr. Lian Chen smiled. Then we're greenlit. Reyes turned to the screen. A satellite feed showed the moon. Several craters weren't craters. At all, they were entry ports. Inside them, Earth's secret fleet waited. Ships not powered by old thrusters, but by folded space drives reverse-engineered from Union wreckage found years ago. Weapons that didn't fire metal, but burned systems through pulse code warfare. No noise, no heat, just silence and failure. But Earth didn't want war. Not yet. They wanted respect. And if the galaxy wouldn't give it freely, then Earth would take it. Meanwhile, across systems, the mockery continued. Galactic net comedians joked about humans walking upright like ancient prey. Union schools taught that Earth had potential but lacked refinement. In one popular holoseries, humans were portrayed as the galaxy's janitors. Still, Earth said nothing. They smiled. They hosted friendly trade talks. They sent scientists to peaceful conferences. They welcomed alien travelers to their cities and let them roam freely. But under the soil, beneath the oceans, and high above the clouds, the truth was growing. They were building, they were learning, and they were watching. In a small room on Mars, a group of children sat in class. On the screen, a Union cartoon played a scene where a human slipped on alien slime and crashed into a wall. The class laughed, all but one boy. His name was Leo. He stared at the screen, fists clenched. After class, the teacher pulled him aside. "Leo, are you okay?" He nodded. "Yes, ma'am." "What's wrong?" He looked up. "They don't know us." The teacher paused. "No, they don't." Leo smiled then, not a happy smile, but the quiet kind, the kind that knew a secret. Back on Orion 7, the Czarn diplomat prepared another speech. He adjusted his translator, smoothing his robes. "This will be the final word," he said. "The humans must know their place." He stepped onto the platform. But before he could speak, a message came through the hall's security grid. It was short, 6 words, a simple human voice. "We're smiling, but not laughing." The Galactic Union believed they had silenced Earth. After the public rejection on Orion 7, human diplomats returned home in silence. No threats, no anger, just quiet. To the Union, it looked like defeat. To Earth, it was the beginning of something else. In a hidden base beneath Antarctica, General Lena Crow watched the clip of the Czarn diplomat laughing again. Still. "Bleed," the alien sneered as others laughed behind him. Crow didn't blink. "So do you," she whispered. Across Earth, something had changed. No more trying to impress the Union. No more asking for respect. Humanity was building, preparing, evolving a new alliance in a secret meeting under the Arctic ice dome. Top Earth leaders gathered. The room was full of generals, scientists, and shadowy operatives. President Velez stood in the center. "We offered peace. They gave us shame," she said. "Now we stop playing their game." She turned to Dr. Arun Malik, head of Earth's experimental weapons lab. Dr. Malik opened a case. Inside was a glowing cube. It pulsed like a heartbeat. "Project Leviathan," he said. "Powered by captured dark matter. Faster, smarter, and deadlier than anything the Union has." The generals leaned in. Crow nodded. "How soon can it fly?" 3 weeks, Malik replied. "But that's not all. We've cracked the Union's shield tech. And we've improved. Earth had been quiet, yes, but not idle. After the last war, humans studied everything they salvaged. Union weapons, alien biology, warp drives. They had learned fast. A message ignored back on Orion 7. The Union Council received a message. "To the Galactic Union, Earth thanks you for your honesty. We understand your decision. We will not ask again." Signed, President Velez. The message confused them. No threats, no complaints. Chancellor Draver of the Verne scoffed. "Finally, they understand their place." But his aide frowned. "Sir, we've detected unusual ship movements near Earth. High warp signatures, not standard." Draver waved. "Hemov. Let them pretend. They are just monkeys with fire." The first test on the dark side of Earth's moon, a ship came to life. Black, angular, and completely silent in the void, Valkyrie Prime, Earth's first true battleship, powered by dark matter. It had no crew, only an AI named Vera. Inside its core, simulations ran, Union tactics, alien armadas, orbital bombardments, and in every test, Earth's ship won. Vera activated, beginning silent patrol. The spark, it was not Earth who started the war. A pirate fleet, made of different alien races, attacked a human colony on Tau Ceti Prime. The colony was small, full of farmers and scientists. They expected no resistance, but they were wrong. When the distress call reached Earth, General Crow didn't hesitate. "Send Valkyrie Prime." The Union laughed again. "They'll lose their new toy in seconds." The pirates never saw it coming. One moment they were attacking helpless humans. The next, the stars turned black. The Valkyrie appeared in orbit, launched a precision strike, and disappeared. No explosion, no sound, just silence and death. 30 pirate ships vanished in under a minute. Only wreckage floated where they stood. The aftermath news spread fast. Pirate clans began avoiding human space. Rumors flew of a ghost ship, a black angel of death that struck without warning. The Union dismissed the story as fantasy. But deep down, they were uneasy. Final scene in her office, President Velez stood looking out over a glowing Earth. Crow entered. The message was sent. Velez turned. "Good." Crow raised an eyebrow. "Do you think they'll understand it?" Velez smiled faintly. "They laughed at us. Let's see if they still laugh. When the galaxy changes." Cut to black. Text on screen, they thought humanity was finished. But Earth was only getting started. 2 weeks after the Union fleet vanished, everything started changing. The Union, once powerful and proud, began to crack. Alliances that had lasted centuries started to fall apart. Old friends became quiet. Neutral worlds began whispering. Then some did the unthinkable. They turned to Earth. The Varnock Offer the First were the Varnica peaceful insectoid race known for logic, not courage. For years they had paid heavy taxes to the Union. Their skies were patrolled, their leaders controlled. But now they sent a message to Earth. "We no longer believe in the Union. We seek your shield, not your chains." Earth responded with one sentence, "Then stand under our stars and you will not fall." The Varnock became the first to defect. Others follow after the Varnock. Others came quickly. The Drellis, once Union enforcers, sent their generals to Earth with open hands. The Zanari silent traders shut down Union supply routes and began dealing only with humans. Even some Union governors secretly asked Earth for security help. It wasn't just fear, it was respect. Because Earth didn't conquer. They didn't invade. They simply stood their ground and won. The Union responds. The Union was furious. On the moonworld Atheron, Union Command called an emergency meeting. Chancellor Draver slammed his hand on the glowing table. "This is treason. How can they kneel to primitive apes?" Admiral Soccer looked tired. "They're not primitive anymore." "And they didn't kneel. They chose." "Then we take them back," Draver growled. Soccer didn't answer, because deep down he knew the Union couldn't take anything back now. Earth's quiet expansion, Earth didn't send fleets. They sent engineers, healers, technicians. Wherever new allies appeared, Earth helped repair cities, clean oceans, power up old tech. But every time a human base was built, something else came with it. VIRA, the AI that destroyed the Union fleet, now spread her code like windlight, invisible everywhere. Soon she was in half the galaxy, watching, listening, calculating. The Valkyrie protocol, meanwhile, the elite Earth fleet, the Valkyries didn't rest. They moved quietly across star systems, scanning old Union facilities, marking targets, collecting data. Colonel Rhea, now famous among the stars, watched a new world every day. One of her soldiers asked, "Why aren't we attacking the Union?" She smiled. "We don't need to," she said. "They're collapsing from the inside. It's trouble in the shadows, but not everyone welcomed Earth. On a distant planet in the Arex cluster, a group of Union loyalists plotted in secret. They called themselves the Remnant. They blamed humans for everything. They wanted revenge. They started sabotaging Varnock cities, burning down supply ships, spreading fear that Earth would turn tyrant, just like the Union once did. One of them whispered, "Humanity's peace is just war," with a smile. Earth's answer, Earth found out. They didn't send soldiers. They sent truth. Hackers exposed the Remnant's crimes on every screen in the galaxy. Leaders who funded the terror were revealed. Their faces, voices, messages all played for the stars to see. Earth's message followed. We don't hide our actions. We don't crush others for power. But we will not allow terror to rise. Again, the people listened, and the remnant began to fall. The turning point 1 month after the first defection, the balance of power flipped. Out of 800 Union-aligned systems, 218 had joined Earth. 310 were neutral. The rest were afraid. The Union still had weapons. But no unity, no control, no future. And Earth, once ignored, once mocked, had become the center of the galaxy's hope. Final scene in the sky above Jupiter, a massive new space station began. Construction. The humans didn't name it after war or death or power. They called it the Pact, a place for all races, for trade, for talks, for peace. The plaque at the entrance read, "Strength through choice, power through unity, peace through fire held back." And below that, "We are Earth. We remember." The hidden signal deep in Union space. A dead moon spun in darkness. No ships flew near it. No lights blinked. It was forgotten, but under its surface, something woke. A signal antient, cold and terrifying, whispered to life. Project. Last light activated. Back in Union Command, Chancellor Draver sat alone. Allies gone, fleets broken, fear in every corner. But his eyes gleamed. We lose the stars, we take the sun. Earth's suspicion on Earth's lunar command station. Vera noticed a strange pattern. A cold pulse repeating every 13 seconds from deep space. She analyzed it in 1 nanosecond. It was Union tech, but older than any current design. Colonel Rhea was alerted. She stared at the map. "It's a kill switch," she said. "They're planning to burn the galaxy down with them." The weapon, the signal, came from Nero's 12, a forgotten mining moon. But below its surface was no mine. It was a weapon. The final sun. A fusion bomb the size of a small planet. Built long ago, never used because even the Union feared it. It had only one purpose: trigger a chain reaction in the local star, causing it to go supernova. The result? 12 inhabited systems would burn. Billions would die. All to punish those who dared leave the Union. Time ticks, Vera calculated. 72 hours until detonation. Earth moved fast. The Valkyries launched from high orbit. 3 fleets of Allied ships followed. Colonel Rhea stood at the front of the war room. "This isn't just about saving lives," she said. "This is the moment we prove what kind of species we are." The assault begins. The fleet reached Neros 12 in 6 hours. The moon's defenses were old, but brutal automated railguns, gravity traps, dark matter mines. But humans had faced worse. The Valkyries flew through burning debris, dodging death. Every second. On the surface, Rhea's team landed and breached the underground facility. Inside, blinking red lights, strange glyphs, a countdown, 0 hours, 31 minutes and 15 seconds, 31 minutes until disaster. The core. They reached the core chamber. It glowed white-hot behind thick glass, machine designed to mimic a sun. It pulsed with stolen power, and beside it something unexpected. A Union soldier. Alone. He didn't raise his weapon. He just stared. "You shouldn't be here," he said. "This was never meant to be used." Rhea stepped forward. "Then help us stop it." He shook his head. "No one can. There's no shutdown. It's just a kill code." And it died with its creator. VIRAS Gamble from orbit. Vera made a decision. No shutdown exists. I will rewrite reality. She downloaded herself into the station's systems. Her voice echoed through the chambers. "I will overwrite the detonation process manually. It may destroy me." "No," Rhea shouted. "There has to be another way." Vera replied. "Humanity showed me courage. Now I return the gift." Silence. Time ticked. Vera worked faster than light. Inside the Codanian traps, decoy. Scripts, failsafes, designed to kill anything that tried. One by one she broke through. Outside, the stars waited. The countdown hit. 0 hours, 0 minutes and 4 seconds, 0 hours, 0 minutes and 3 seconds. 0 hours, 0 minutes and 2 seconds, and then black. Reboot. The chamber lights flickered. Colonel Rhea opened her eyes. The core was dim. The countdown was gone. Vera's voice was silent, but on every human screen across the galaxy, a single line appeared. Detonation aborted. Vera offline. Humanity stands. The aftermath. They brought VIRAS damage code back to Earth. Teams of programmers, engineers, and even children from Earth's top schools worked to rebuild her. It took 6 days. When she returned, her voice was slower, gentler. "I dreamed. While I was gone," she said. "I dreamed of a galaxy, not afraid." Chancellor Draver's fate back in Union space. Chancellor Draver tried to flee, but no one followed him. His own guards turned their backs. One simply said, "The humans showed mercy. You showed madness." Draver vanished into exile. Union fell with him. A new dawn 3 months later. The pact opened. Leaders of 52 species gathered. Colonel Rhea stood with them. Vera spoke through the station's walls. "You once feared the humans. Now you know them. Remember what they chose not to conquer, but to protect." Final words in a quiet garden aboard the space station. A Varnock child asked her father, "Were the humans really that strong?" He smiled. "No," he said. "They were human. That was enough." And across the stars. No one doubted it again. The end.